उसके पेमेंट, ठीक है। अब पेमेंट के बाद कौन सा चाहिए, पीपीटी चलानी है ना, पीपीटी में ये
नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं डॉक्टर जितेंद्र कुमार और आज हम बात करते हैं न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी इंट्रोडक्शन टू ब्लॉकचेन। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, ब्लॉकचेन है क्या? ब्लॉकचेन इज अ टाइप ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड लीडर्स टेक्नोलॉजी that is called DLT that consists of growing the list of record called the blocks that are securely linked together with cryptography. Cryptography means the encryption and decryption process. Second, each block contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, a timestamp, and a transaction data generally represented as a miracle tree. The timestamp proves the that transaction that exists when the process is going continuously step by step. So that's why, since each block contains the information about the previous block, they are effectively from a chain with each additional block linking to the ones before it. Blockchain transactions are irreversible in that once they are recorded, the data in any given block cannot be altered without altering all the subsequent blocks. I mean, in very simple, what is blockchain? Blockchain is equal to distributed ledger plus computational powers plus cryptographic hash. I mean the key of the hashing. Ledger collection of the transaction in the form of the blocks. As per the diagram we have seen here, ledger collection of the transaction of every block. When you have to see in the block, there are some B1, H3, D1, M3, H1, H2. B for blockchain, B1 for block, H for the block headers, block data, transaction, M for the metadata. H1 and H2 is the hashing key. This is the distributed ledger. Each of every peer node shared with a copy of the leaders. There is a peer 1, peer 2, peer C and peer D. These are the nodes where we have to distribute the data in the form of the cryptographic hashing key. Ledger collection of transaction in the form of the blocks. Here H0 and H1 and H2 and H3. And there is a block, I mean block B0, B1, B2, B3. H3 block headers, H0, H1, H2, H3 block headers, and D0, D1, D2, and D3, that is block data. And here T1, T2, T3, and T4, and so on T9, that is the transaction of the data. And M0, M1, M2, and M3, that is the called block metadata. This is the diagram of the blockchain where every node transfer the data, a visual representation of blockchain ledger on a single peer node in a network, how it works. Cryptographic hash. What do you mean by cryptographic hash? It is a function that takes the random size input and yield a fixed size of output. It means which is size of fixed input is equal to 5/6 of output. Hash is also called the message digest or digital fingerprint. It is a one-way function. It cannot be reversed. In blockchain, it is using 256 byte hash is generated. Here we can see the diagram. We can understand with the help of the diagram. Here one is the image, that is cat.jpg, that is 1.21 MB, that is your input. And one way cryptographic hash function, we have to put the cryptographic hash function on the input. After then we are getting the data in the form of the hashing, in the form of the hash function data, that is 256 byte of the hash function. You can understand easily with the help of this diagram. Computational power means consensus algorithm. A consensus algorithm is procedure through which all the peers of the blockchain network reach a common agreement about the present state of the distributed ledger. We have already seen in the previous how the distributed ledger work step by step. Few consistent algorithm is included, that is called PoW, that is proof of work, PoS, proof of stack, and PBFT, that is practical Benjamin fault tolerance. This is the some algorithm of the consistent which are work with the on the blockchain. A blockchain was created by a person. Person means a group of people using the name of the Satoshi Nako in 2008. Serve as the publicly distributed leader of the Bitcoin cryptographic transactions. Secondly, the implementation of blockchain with Bitcoin made it a first digital currency to solve the double spending problem without need of the trusted authority of the central server. Centralized server and distributed server and decentralized server. We can understand with the help of that particular diagram. There are three images. One is the centralized server. First one is one node does everything. I mean, one node is the master node and controlling all the things. In case of second image, that is the distributed, means node distributed work sub nodes, means the nodes are divided into different nodes, means every nodes have its importance. And decentralized nodes are only connected to the peers, means everything are dependent on the nodes and they are connected with each other. The centralized and decentralized system, there is some difference. The functionality parameters, third party involvement. In case of centralized, yes, but in case of decentralized, no. Control, parameter is control. In case of centralized, full control stay with the central authority. A central authority can control whole the process. In case of decentralized, control stay with the user itself also. And single point of failure. In case of centralized, yes, or in case of decentralized, no, because nodes are decentralized. And exchange fee. In case of centralized, that is higher because everything is dependent on the central process. But in case of decentralized, less fee. Ease of use. I mean, centralized is easy to use, and decentralized not easy to use. Centralized versus decentralized system. Here we can understand with the diagram. There are some nodes which are connected with the centralized system. It means there is a one server and everything is connected that server. If server is fail, everything is fail. In case of blockchain, everything is decentralized. We can understand with the you can see in the diagram. Benefit of blockchain. First, greater trust. I mean, blockchain member of the member only network, you can reset assured that you are receiving the accurate and timely data. It means it is having the more trust as compared to anything, because every record have its uh, some names. And greater security because it works on the 256 hash, so it is having the greater security as compared to other. More efficient. Why it is more efficient? Because the data is distributed in the leaders. I mean, data is not as a centralized, it is shared in distributed ledger among the members of the network. It means time wasting record, and helping means called a smart contract. Thank you. That is the only the information what is blockchain and how the blockchain it works, and the data of the centralized and decentralized, and what is the process centralized and decentralized. Thank you very much. Namaskar. You can follow me on the Dr Jitender AI.